Hey Internet, it's Dmitry, and today I'm going to demonstrate my progress on the Polaroid 110A conversion to 4x5. So I made big progress actually, and I have a working prototype. If you one of my followers on Instagram, you could basically see in my stories the progress as I was printing stuff and as I was doing test shots. But today it's gonna be a big day, big test, so I will do a couple of more test shots and I will introduce you to my setup. So shall we get started? So here we have my back 3D printed. I had to patch some light leaks because my 3D printer wasn't that accurate. It's not my 3D printer, but I mean 3D printer I used. And this is by no mean a production, so this is like a flimsy. I had to sand this off a little bit so it doesn't really fit that nicely, but anyway, so, and as you can see here, if I just remove it, so I didn't remove anything from here, so the camera stayed as is, as it was, and this is basically my 3D printed back. So, and if I put it back here, it fits nicely. So of course there are a lot of things that can be improved, but yeah, this setup worked for me. Let's say then what I had to do next, so I had to print out this kind of bogus film holder to hold the ground glass, and I measured this distance. So this is kind of a sheet of film here I have. So when I insert this into my camera, basically I can open the lens and focus. So this is how I actually measured the distance I have to move my lens back. And yeah, basically hear it how the film, as you can see, it's like a little bit tricky sometimes. So it's like goes in and then dark slide goes out and you make a shot. So yeah, as you can see here I have my markings. Those are my markings where I have to stop the lens from moving, because if I do it like here, it's too much, and then I have basically the macro camera instead of having basically the normal camera. Of course there is no lock in this position, nothing, so ideally I have to move this plate back, so I have like nice fix and lock in this position, but then even with this slight adjustment, so I still have this distance scale here that will work, because I didn't move this plate, I just moved the lens back, and then rangefinder will work as well. And this is actually this distance from this lock to this marking. This is exactly the distance I build up here from this frame where the film used to be to like this position where the film will be. And that's basically everything that I done to the camera. And right now I'm going to set up a simple composition. I will focus using this ground glass, and then I will just take a couple of test shots to demonstrate you the possibilities of this camera. So this is my test composition I'm going to shoot today to test my camera, and basically what I want to test with my camera today is if this setup is light proof, is the focusing distance is accurate. And right now I have my camera in a bulb mode, and basically this release, I locked this release so the lens stays open, so that we can observe our composition on the ground glass insert. I also have two sheets of Fomapan 100 here in my magazine, and so basically I do everything in the changing bag. Yeah, now the camera is in. Oh my god. This camera actually has a timer, so how about I try to shoot my portraiture. So I just cock the shutter and then I move this lever in this position, in V position. And as it usually with large format camera, I forgot to take out the dark slide. Oh my god. So I have to do it second time. Oh my god. I think it happens time to time when you shoot large format, so you either don't remove your dark slide and make an exposure, or you do something else and make an accidental exposure, like I just forgot to engage the timer and then I just make a random shot, so I had to load one more magazine. And answering your question when I'm going to share, I'm a software engineer, and in software engineering we have a saying, so the code is ready for production and not ready to be open source, meaning that it is good enough to run business, it's not good enough to be public. So, and I don't think that my prototype is ready to be public, and I don't really want to have all those false expectations, because I still had to do a lot after I printed out this prototype to make it work. So, and I would like to have your guys' experience as smooth as possible, meaning that you would just order that print or print it by yourself and then have everything ready and have a full instruction. So up until then it's gonna be hidden, and I cannot sell what I'm printing with a printer I have access to, because this is basically an agreement that I can do stuff for myself, for my hobby, but I cannot sell it because it's not my printer. And if you ask me to start selling these things, that I will have to basically buy a printer, calibrate it, do a test run and do those prints basically, but I don't know, I don't have such plans yet, but I do foresee that that could be a little bit tricky for someone who never printed anything. So yeah, maybe I will consider this in future as I'm ready with my prototype basically, and I'm not right now. Yeah, but basically stay tuned. On my Instagram in stories I share like on a daily basis my progress on my project, so and then every now and then I just shoot like a full video for YouTube, because well, stories is just a platform for sharing the progress, and YouTube is basically let's say a platform to do kind of a bottom line. So yeah, this is a bottom line of a prototype, so I have a prototype, it is working. And I'm really happy how it turned out. I thought it's gonna be much harder actually, and much trickier to convert this camera. It's actually pretty straightforward. So yeah, and thanks for watching guys, and I see you next time.